Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I'm Z and I'm going to be doing a tarot reading, finding out what are the messages with the cards that come out in this reading today for you. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out, what messages come through, the cards that come out in this reading today. So the first card we have is the Four of Wands, and we've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. We do have some fire sign energy with this Four of Wands. Could be dealing with another Sagittarius or a Leo or an Aries. We also have some earth sign energy, and you could be dealing with a Virgo, Taurus, or even Capricorn. And we have the Page of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Knight of Swords. So with the Knight of Swords shown up here at the bottom of the deck, this does feel like a pretty confident energy. It also feels like an energy of someone who's moving things quite quickly. I do feel like with this Knight of Swords coming, showing up here at the bottom of the deck, this does feel like an energy of someone who's coming into your life either unexpectedly, suddenly, where it just feels like this person is kind of rushing towards you. They're wanting to move things forward quickly. I do feel like with the Knight of Swords, this also feels like there could be strong communication from somebody. And I do feel like there's a sense of also being quite decisive when it comes to the communication. And I do feel like with the Knight of Swords showing up over here, this feels like a pretty determined energy when it comes to wanting to have things, getting the ball rolling, getting things moving in this connection with you. I do feel like with this Four of Wands showing up over here, this feels like good energy, especially in a connection, or even if you're single, when it comes to attracting a connection, especially in love. Do you feel like with the Four of Wands showing up over here, this feels like a very good place to be at? And also when it comes to the person you're dealing with, I also feel like it's someone who's in a good space to be able to welcome that energy at this time in their life. I do feel like with the Four of Wands, this feels like a pretty stable energy. And I do feel like when it comes to how this person may feel about you, they do feel the sense of you being in a stable place, and that's something that's quite attractive or that they can work with. I do feel like with the Four of Wands, this does feel like an energy of being able to work well together and kind of cooperating. Feels like a good energy for a partnership. I do feel like there is also an energy of being able to have good news or a reason to celebrate within your connection. And even when it comes to the start of something with someone new. I do feel like with the Six of Pentacles show up in the reverse though, this feels like a little bit of an imbalance within a connection, especially when it comes to the give and take. And with this card showing up in the reverse, it especially does feel like it's important to ensure that you're not doing more for another than what they are doing for you, so that you can maintain this sense of balance in this connection. With this card in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of feeling like you're giving more than what you may feel like you're getting from something or someone. And I do feel like with this card in the reverse, this feels like a pretty generous and giving energy. I do feel like you may be a giver, you may be dealing with someone who is a giver, but this does feel like an energy of kind of putting a focus on balancing this connection, especially when it comes to the give and take. I do feel like with the Page of Cups though, this feels like an energy of someone trying to get your attention. I definitely feel like you've got someone's attention, and I do feel like with this Page of Cups, this feels like someone who has romantic feelings. I also feel like someone who's going to express that. I do feel like there may be some romantic gestures when it comes to the way this person's expressing themselves in an attempt to get your attention. But this Knight of Swords showing up here at the bottom of the deck, this feels like a pretty determined and even decisive energy. So it does feel like a sense of someone who's in a space where they are acting from a place where it's like they're following their hearts. They are acting from a place of what they are feeling being something that's taking the lead in as far as in leading them, their actions. But the Page of Cups from up over here, this does feel like a pretty youthful energy as well. You could be dealing with someone younger, or you may be younger than this person, but I do feel like there is a sense of trying to impress you and wanting to be able to get your attention. And I do also feel that with this Page of Cups, this feels like an energy of someone who has budding feelings in this connection towards you. And I do feel like it is something they can't contain. So it feels like a sense of them being in a space where they want to be able to express that to you. It's like they're making an attempt, whether it is through hints and gestures. But this feels like a sense of someone who's in a space where I do feel like this person feels very warm energy towards you and feels pretty warm emotions, especially when it comes to being in a space where it's like they're admiring you. They have a lot of feelings. And they do feel like they're in a space where they want to kind of share that. And with this Page of Cups, this also feels like artistic energy. So I do feel like it's like they are choosing to be able to express themselves in a way that is romantic. I do feel like, or poetic. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We've got the Five of Cups in the reverse. We have the Magician, and we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. So Seven of Cups showing up in the reverse does feel like a pretty good energy for someone to be in, especially when it comes to being in a space of clarity, especially clarity around their feelings in a situation. I also feel like there's a sense of being in a space where somebody is in a decisive energy when it comes to this connection. I also feel they may be actually kind of making a decision to be able to either choose you, to choose this connection amongst any other options. I do feel like with the Five of Cups showing up in the reverse, this feels like an energy of moving on from past hurts, past traumas, or past difficulties or setbacks, being in a space where somebody is ready to be able to move forward and be able to kind of embrace this without that lingering feeling holding them back when it comes to associations with the past. This feels like an energy of being able to move on from the past, especially when it comes to difficult experiences from the past. I do feel like with this Five of Cups showing up in the reverse, it's like this person is in a space where mentally they are in a space where they are ready for something new. They are ready to move on. I do also feel like they're not letting anything, when it comes to past traumas, they're not letting anything kind of hold them back or define them. They're making that decision. Do you feel like this person is in a space where it's like they are, when it comes to this connection, and even when it comes to you, they are perceiving you as something different, something new, something they are not associating with the past, but also being in a space where it's like they are ready to be able to embrace this connection with you. I do feel like with the Magician card show up over here, this feels like an energy of being able to experience a connection where there's a lot of chemistry. I also feel like there's a strong attraction. It's like there's a sense of something about this person draws you in this connection. It could be their charm. It could even be the way in which they treat you, or the way in which they just carry themselves. But with the Magician card showing up over here, this does feel like a pretty independent energy. And I do feel like that could even be a part of the attraction when it comes to this person. I do feel like there's something self-sufficient about them. And I do feel like also with the Magician card, this feels like an energy of being in a space where somebody's willing to make something work with you, be able to make this connection work with you. With the Four of Wands showing up over here, it feels like partnership. And I do feel like there's the potential for a very strong, solid partnership in this connection with this person. I do feel like with the Magician card showing up over here, this does feel like a pretty independent energy. So with that Six of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, and that feeling of imbalance in this connection, this may be something that needs to be taught, or needs to be able to, somebody is kind of unfamiliar with being able to kind of share or be able to have balance and making space for that in a connection with someone. I do feel like with the Magician card showing up over here though, there's a will to be able to kind of make things work in that regard. I do feel like with the Seven of Swords in the reverse, this feels like an energy of being able to hear something from someone. And I do feel like it's something that is very truthful, it's very honest. It's like somebody kind of wanting to be able to express something to you. And I do feel like with the Page of Cups showing up over here, it's coming from the heart. I do feel like this person being in a space where they want to be able to make a confession, be able to express something to you that they've held in, that they can no longer hold in anymore. So I do feel like there's a sense of having communication. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have the Jupiter return card with benefits. We have Virgo with I analyze. And we have the 11th house with friends. So this Jupiter return card showing up over here does feel like a very positive energy, but also an energy of being able to get to have the opportunity to either receive good news. I also feel like it's a reason to celebrate with this Four of Wands. This feels like good news coming in. I also feel that there's a sense of being able to experience a return on investment, and I do feel like there's something very beneficial about this connection and where you are at in this phase that you're in with this person at this time. You could be entering into a new phase, an exciting one within this connection with this person. I do feel like this person's ready to take that on with you with this Five of Cups shown up in the reverse. This feels like having a very positive outlook, also very optimistic outlook towards the future from this person when it comes to how they feel about you and this connection. I do feel like also this Jupiter return card showing up here, you could also be dealing with another Sagittarius, you could also be dealing with a Pisces. I do feel like though with the Virgo card showing up over here, this does feel like Virgo energy. I also feel that with this Virgo card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of dealing with someone who's used to and would rather be able to have control, take control of the situation. I do feel like there's a lot of comfortability in being able to be in control within this connection. But I do feel like with the Magician card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being someone who's quite proactive. So I feel that when it comes to that controlling side, it is in a good way as far as being able to make effort and being able to get things done for this connection. Although with the Virgo card showing up over here, this can also feel like a sense of kind of overthinking things. So I do feel like also maybe dealing with someone who is someone who overthinks things, takes things in their mind to the worst case scenarios at time. But I do feel like with the Magician card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of this person being quite drawn to you, and I do feel like also having good communication within this connection with this person. I also feel like it's productive kind of communication. But with the 11th house card showing up over here, this feels like a sense of having a solid foundation built upon a strong friendship within this connection, being able to take a friendship to another level, being able to experience a friendship that really is one that feels very, very, very good to have between two people as far as the connection that you share with this person. Do you feel like even on a friendship level, it does feel like a very meaningful connection to have and build with someone? And with the 11th house card showing up over here, I also feel like you could be dealing with an Aquarius. But with the 11th house card showing up over here, this does feel like a pretty, I do feel like it's also a pretty fortunate energy as far as you aligning on a lot of things like shared goals and the being able to have the same outlook and the same vision and the same goal when it comes to your connection. But I do feel like there's a strong sense of friendship in this connection that also keeps you in a connection where it feels like it is one that is, I do feel like very mutual. And I do feel like when it comes to a sense of connection, that being something that is mutual between the two of you in this connection. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Sagittarius. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Sagittarius.